Did you know a study conducted by the University of California, Berkeley in 2005 showed that our shared desire for connection is ingrained into us as a fundamental instinct from back in the Paleolithic era, as banding together helped early humans survive. Today, still, unity and belonging are things we all constantly seek. We all wish to feel wanted, needed, and safe, to have a place in a world that is increasingly divided. However, for much of my life, I felt like I was constantly watching everyone else find their own groups, fitting snugly in while I was left behind, in a sort of no man's land. I felt like I was constantly switching characters and putting on facades rather than being able to be myself. It took me years, over half a decade, to realize why unity and belonging felt so elusive. Gradually, I began to see that the unity I was pursuing wasn't as genuine as I thought. Instead, it was something that came with many obligations and invisible strings tugged taut by our innate fear and contempt towards novelty. I tried searching for belonging alone, but quickly learned that it was impossible. Luckily, I had a safety net to fall onto. My family, friends, and the places I'm from offered support in those confusing years. Most influential to me was family. Family is our main foundation, where our first opinions and traits develop. To me, it represented welcoming warmth, and belonging within family felt effortless. I felt like a puzzle piece in a vibrant, intricate picture, one which wouldn't have been whole without each individual piece stunning in its own singularity, but coming together to form something greater. When everything else became unbearably heavy, family offered a golden haven I could retreat into, even when I avoided it stubbornly, thinking I knew better. And then there were friendships. As I grew older and started self-destructively pushing family away, my friends always remained. Friendships may waver, ebb, and flow, especially considering the international lives many of us have. But in the end, they are undeniably special, and each one is unique. I think what makes them truly special, however, is how many opportunities we have to deny them. Nobody forces friendships onto us. We choose them ourselves. We float like a lost buoy in a sea of strangers every day of our lives, and only pick out a select few to get to know better. Friendships are held together by nothing but unspoken promises of trust and respect. They're available to absolutely everyone, and that's what makes them truly unique. Most influential to me, however, were the countries I call home. Growing up as both American and Chinese, I sometimes felt the push and pull of two vastly contradictory national identities. Both places had distinct beliefs regarding political ideologies, social norms, and much more. However, despite this, they possessed one striking similarity. In both places, there's an immense pride in national unity, one which can admittedly straddle the line between potent and poisonous, but also one that can result in intense unity if utilized correctly. Vast groups of people can feel connected somehow, no matter how remotely, through something much larger than any one of us. I felt this firsthand, whether at large-scale elaborate festivals or at simple gatherings in rural areas. I rarely felt the pressure to conform or pick sides and was able to enjoy the best of both worlds. Everything was going well. Throughout my life, those around me lifted me up, helped shape my confidence, and offered support in moments when I felt undeserving of care. However, the one crucial element of belonging I was still missing was self-acceptance. It was impossible to feel wholly part of a group when I never felt whole within myself. Having grown up in and known people from many cultures, I felt scattered. It was as if everything I based my identity or opinions on was contradictory. I felt like only a few fragmented glass shards of my identity were left, and all they did were reflect back others' opinions. And this led to somewhat of a crisis, where I started avoiding deep connection, believing that belonging to any group meant being forced to offer up too much of myself. And so I stopped searching for unity, I stopped searching for belonging, and I retreated subtly. This isolation, however, didn't bring about the clarity that I expected it to. Instead, it made the world feel even more distanced and my reflection even blurrier. I eventually grew exhausted from trying to build up these barriers in the name of self-preservation, and so I let people in again out of necessity. It was terrifying at first. I was scared to be vulnerable, scared to give away my thoughts and feelings, scared that I wouldn't be able to retrieve them again. Luckily, in my instance, those around me were amazing. They accepted and embraced me no matter what. And that reassurance helped me to view the internationalism that had previously torn me apart in a positive light again. I realized that it offered opportunity and connection much more than it did separation. And I realized that I didn't have to tie myself or conform to any group to feel like a part of things. All I had to do was enjoy each moment and just relax. I am aware that often it can seem like everything and everyone is against us. And while that can be true, there are always communities willing to offer support, whether discovered or created. Even when it seems like unity and belonging aren't possible, you are not alone. And I'm just going to directly say this. I know this may seem cliche. I know this might not mean much to anyone in this room right now. And I can understand that. But I'm standing here asking you to please listen to this one message that I truly believe is important. No matter, unity and belonging are not just impossible ideals. They're ours to create. You and I, we must create our own unity and belonging. And the fact that we are all gathered here in this room today to support each other is a pretty good start.